Okay, so we are back. We had a small break.
It's a little small.
But, we know how to pivot around here. So, our camera didn't want to act right.
Mine was on.
Batteries kept dying, so...
Talk about batteries dying. I had a situation last night, but
What?
but those batteries. But
What
it's all
batteries?
good. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
What
Batteries.
situation?
They're Energizer batteries, though. They're good.
Wait, what happened?
Makes you keeps on ticking, and it keeps on ticking.
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
We don't know.
It's really sad. But we're here to talk about him today.
You the one brought up
Yeah,
batteries.
I did bring up the batteries, so that's on another episode, okay?
Hard to.
Yeah, battery.
Hard
Dude.
Okay, so Andy,
Yes, ma'am.
after several delays, we are ready to talk to you. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so tell us about yourself. What do you do outside of the ULCC?
Outside,
Can you tell the truth, please?
nothing but the
No.
truth. Help me God. I spend a lot of time in my car in traffic. I love what I do for a living. Many of my clients become my friends, and not just temporary, lifelong, friends.
What do you do?
I am a hand model.
I knew it.
I've seen you.
I knew
Seen him
it.
several
I actually just celebrated my 20th year in business, owning a real estate company.
That's hot.
Called the Sokol Group,
Mhm.
where I do residential, commercial, business brokerage, and I just got my international real estate property certification.
What does that mean for those who don't know?
What it really means is I have a little better understanding than your average bear in how to move money internationally and purchase investments and personal property around the world.
Okay, so
That's probably one of his clients.
It is.
Let me cut it off.
How did you
Yeah.
get started doing that?
It's actually a really, do you got a battery life?
You got
I've always been a little entrepreneur. When I was 14, I started a little painting company. I was very lucky. My parents were wonderful, but I didn't get everything I wanted. I'd say, "Mom, I want a bike," and she'd say, "Nope." I'd go mow 20 lawns, right? I'd do whatever you got to do. And I had one job after college. I was selling capital equipment to the airlines mostly, and they got rid of my secretary. I started doing too much paperwork, and I'm kind of done here. And I started a company called Ask Andy, the last human search engine. And I went back to all my clients and all my friends that I always refer and said, good news, bad news. Good news is you're gonna make a lot more money this year. Bad news is now I want a piece of it. And everyone's like, okay, cool. So I went to my realtor, who was my buddy's little brother that I grew up with. Same thing, I said, hey, guess what? I'm starting this little referral business. I already refer you, now I want a piece, but you're gonna make more. And he said, Andy, I can't pay you because you don't have a real estate license. I said, I'm too cute for prison. So I went and got my real estate license. So I was, doing real estate for about a year, and then the recession came. So it was very, unique time.
Which recession is this?
They're gonna date me now.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Between 2000 and 2005.
Oh yeah, that's when the housing market and all that crap, and people were head over heels, and they were giving everybody loans.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting a loan.
It was, state income. You say, I make $1 million. They're like, oh, sure, here's whatever. So bad time for a lot of people. We learned and whatnot. So 20 years in real estate. And then the last 5 years, I also have a window company, Dandy Windows.
Dandy Windows?
Yep.
How
Really?
did you?
Get into that one. So my godson's uncle called me and said, hey, Andy, you should sell windows. And I said, I'm a little busy with my, other stuff. And he's like, but you're already talking to the people we should talk to. And I said, all right, I don't really know what I'm looking at, And I had a home inspector that worked for me named Dan. And I said, hey, come down, made in North Aurora, made in Illinois. I said, come look at the plant, maybe if you tell me they're good, maybe, I'll do this window thing. So we go to the plant, and they said, oh, it's really good quality. I said, all right, you're Dan, I'm Andy. It's Dandy Windows.
Dandy Windows.
You do the measuring and all the technical stuff. I'll do the sales. And
Nice.
then COVID came.
Oh, that.
So,
That big C.
and you know, all of a sudden it took 16 weeks to get windows and whatnot. So, you know, it does make sense. You know, I sell a house in Oak Park, plug for my hometown where I grew up. You know, big
Oak
100-year-old
Park.
house.
Phoenicia knows something about Oak Park.
Come on.
Oh yeah, you may even have seen her in Oak Park.
I might have babysat for.
Hey,
Like,
you don't know.
age.
Putting windows in her house and she doesn't know it.
Possibly.
But yeah, no. So you know, I sell old houses. You know, then old windows.
Yep.
You're gonna, besides buying a house, you gotta buy, you know, $15,000 worth of windows.
Yeah.
Nice.
Might as well buy it from dandywindows.com.
I like this. DandyWindows.com, man. Yours is like the jack of all trades over here. You've got, I mean, because who would have known? Like, windows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't do anything that I'm not comfortable with, right? Like this club, for example.
Yeah.
My wife's idea.
Mm-hmm.
The great marketing department at the club
Oh.
did the trial program,
Yes.
and she said, you know, I think her quote was, "Andy, you amazing husband, that I am so happy that I get to see every day of my life," end quote. Let's join this club. And I said, I didn't know that was on the Sokol family things to do list.
On the list.
You know, so I said, all right, keep the checkbook at home, but let's do the tour. And I mean, we travel a lot, so the whole reciprocal clubs, if everybody doesn't know about it, we have clubs around the world you could stay at. And, you know, she's an attorney, I'm in real estate. There are so many groups and organizations, you know, the lawyer club, the real estate club, the travel group, the cigar club and stuff. So, you know, it really blew me away. But I'm a man of the people.
A man of the people, and yes, he is.
I need to go somewhere where all my friends are welcome, you know, and in my mind, I mean, I was picturing like most probably people do, you know, two old guys sitting like the Muppets, you know. But, you know, I mean, I have friends of every color, size, religion, even some New York Yankee fans, which I don't like to talk
Please
about.
don't talk about those guys.
But
No.
they have, you know, there's someone, whether it's, you know, another club member or a group, or even, you know, with the staff, you find so much in common with people here. You know, it really surpassed my expectations.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It really is. I mean, as you know, a lot of my friends have joined.
Yeah.
And
You've had a lot of people, because we've had somebody that was one of your friends on the show, on the podcast, and that's your good friend Brooke. We had Brooke on the show. She told us everything. No, actually, she didn't.
she probably knows everything. I'm an open book. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's been friends since we were like 11,
amazing.
12 years old.
Yeah,
That's how Parker's
And she's here. And she's probably here because of you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, she's a sommelier. I'm sure she
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about
She talked
and,
all about that.
You know, I'm like,
She's-
come, have whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, so no, yeah, I dig the club. I dig the interest stuff. It fits with, you know, me, with my family, that,
Yes.
you know, we enjoy having fun, but we also support, you know, good causes. Figure the parking out a little bit,
Yeah.
that'd be a little better. But yeah, I mean, it's been good.
It has been good, and your energy when you come in the club, you know, because we talk all the time. You're just you're very approachable, very down to earth, and I can see why the other members and people have joined because of you. And you're one of those type of members that if I was coming to the club, I would want to come because of you. I know that we can network. I know that we can also have a good time. There are so many different functions that the club offers for a lot of members and new members.
For that.
I knew it.
Told you they
Under
did.
the table. It has to be under
I
the
know.
table.
But I told him to Zelle me or
Oh,
Cash App me the new
gosh.
stuff. But I'll take the tip.
So
Okay.
I see you at so many events,
Yes,
you and your wife.
correct.
Do you have a favorite? Don't mention homecoming. Everybody loves homecoming. You can mention homecoming.
I mean, homecoming is just mind blowing. The talent
Yeah.
that everyone put
Every
in-
floor.
in-
Shout out to member
that.
events.
Yeah. The bourbon boxing is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stuff that doesn't cease to amaze me is like we put a boxing gym in the middle of $1 million room of art,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like when we do the what is it, fancy pickleball.
The pickleball.
I mean, where else are you gonna
Like
have a a
Chandelier.
chandelier like, and you're playing pickleball.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of about, and there's always like fun people doing it. So I think like the bourbon boxing was fun, but you know, the heartburn sometimes with the bourbon, no bueno. But I also love the speakers, the book signing stuff. I can forward you these images for later, but like we had Scottie Pippen, Coach Madigan,
Madden.
and then
he's here. Who?
Oakley,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So
But
like,
someone told me that I missed him. I don't know if I was. Dennis Rodman came in.
Nah.
Did you see that? It was like some weeks ago, like a month ago or something.
Oh, I didn't
Seriously.
see that.
then someone's gonna
Yeah.
be in trouble for not finding a way to call me if that's the truth.
I mean,
When did this happen? Who told
this,
you?
I
Is it
mean,
a reliable source?
this was
Yeah,
a
it's
reliable
just-
source. He came through the door.
Honey,
He had an
where
entourage.
at?
He went right in the elevator.
And went
it was
where?
some friends. He went to, I don't know, maybe he went to
But
one
he
of the-
always
one
wears
of the
ripped
roasts.
jeans, and we don't allow ripped jeans.
Yes.
Oh, so they couldn't have been Dennis Rodman
Couldn't have
because
been.
he wouldn't have been.
Right.
Well-
I mean, if the bell senders doing their job,
Yeah.
they would have stopped him.
Yeah,
Then
They
you-
always
yeah.
do.
Then you
Yeah.
would have been able to
Very
get a picture and prove that it was actually. So
Yeah.
now we know it wasn't Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
But that part is
Right.
awesome. When else can you be up front and personal with, you know, your childhood favorite, you know, athlete or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dude, I always bust out my red, white, and blue Pabst Blue Ribbon
Oh.
headband.
Yeah.
So I'm like my little suit with stupid headband, and they're like, "Who's this idiot?" But you know, I have to amuse myself sometimes too.
Yeah. No, you're a fun guy. You're a family guy. A businessman, of course, but you love having fun. Outside of the club, you do a lot. I didn't know about this window thing, but that's a great business. But what else? What are some of the other passions that you have that you enjoy?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Hold on. So
We're gonna probably have a conversation here, but go ahead, ask
Yeah.
what you're about to ask.
Yeah.
you know what I'm gonna ask.
Mhm.
Who's your team?
Oh wow.
Okay, first of all, let me just say, can you please quiet your phones?
So his phone was
That's for
vibrating too.
Dorian.
I didn't know who else was. He's vibrating over
Oh,
here.
okay.
Somebody's batteries are working.
I am
Be careful.
a Cubs fan that does not hate the White Sox.
Okay.
When the Cubs play the White Sox, I want the Cubs to win. When the White Sox, I'd like for them to do well. I hate the Yankees. I'm sure the battery's being recorded.
Yeah. It's okay to hate the
fine.
Yankees.
Full
though.
on hatred. But
Full hatred. I do too.
I'm
Do you
a-
like the Mets?
I do like the Mets.
Okay,
But I'm
that's
like, I used to have Cubs season tickets when they won the World Series. I presently have White Sox
Yeah.
seasons because
hey.
it's,
I'm a
It's
Sox.
a rebuilding.
I'm a diehard
year.
White Sox fan. I'm just
How
very
many
disappointed.
times have the Cubs had horrible seasons?
like most of them.
Oh my God.
The Andre Dawson years and the the Ryan Sandberg
So,
years.
Yeah.
speaking of Andre Dawson, so I'm selling a condo. Andre Dawson was a last owner. The now owner is Minnie Minosa. So two,
Really?
a White Sox and a Cubs player on Lakeshore Drive. If you are interested.
I'm interested.
So,
That's really
no,
interesting.
so I love baseball.
I got an Ernie Banks story I can't even share here.
Why not?
That's weird, but it's really because I was at the time working at the GCI, I guess, and then we got to the park and we got a chance to visit the game.
GCI Oak Park on Oak Park Avenue.
Well, no, not that. I was working there at the time, and we got invited to the Cubs, and they were playing the Giants that day with Barry Bonds. I remember back in my producer, and we talked to Ernie Banks that was there, and Mr. Williams, the other. And
Williams.
Ernie Banks was the only thing he was asking me about was Alicia Keys and Beyonce Knowles. He says, "So have you met
Yeah, priorities.
Alicia Keys?" And I'm like, "Alicia, did he just ask me about Alicia Keys?" And this is when Alicia was just coming out. And I'm like, this guy, he must have been like in this, like, I'm like, yeah, well, we met her. Well, how about Beyonce Knowles? And that's how we said it. Looked at me, I was like, Beyonce. And I'm looking at him like,
Beyonce.
She's got one name and one name only.
yeah,
Beyonce.
right. But at that time, think about it, because he was so distant. He was like, Beyonce, no, he gave you the full. I'm like, no. He says, yeah, and it's interesting women. I'm like, yeah. That's my Ernie Banks story.
EB.
So going back to baseball, what do you think about this talk about baseball dying in America, fan base?
This is the truth, unfortunately.
I love baseball, by the way.
I didn't know you love
Favorite
baseball.
sport.
I love
Is
it.
baseball your favorite sport?
It's up there.
I didn't know.
I love a doubleheader all day at the ballpark, beer, hot dog. I mean, that's just my thing. I love it. It's so
Wow.
relaxing.
So, my father's a college professor, right? PhD, 21, Doogie Howser, like doesn't watch sports, doesn't watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my brother both love baseball. He's unfortunately a Yankee fan because he was born in New York.
Oh,
Oh,
And,
God.
too bad.
So the other
It's
day,
one of
you
those.
know, I'm like, you know, talking to my dad, and, you know, I said, "You should go to the baseball game." He's like, and I said, Dad, I said, he's a very smart man, and sometimes he'll listen. And I said, it's the experience going to a game sometimes. Who gives a shit? Like if it's whatever. You
Yep.
get a sunny day, like you said, you get that vitamin D on your face. You have a bird, you know, watching this goofy guy get yelled at by his wife, this other dude drunk fell or whatever. Like, then again, no disrespect to the old South Side. Wrigleyville, you have a neighborhood, right? Comiskey, you got to walk 8 blocks to Buffalo Wild
Did you call it
Wings.
what?
Comiskey.
Yeah, that's what we
However
all know
you
it
say
as.
it.
That's
The
the name.
old
Forever,
Comiskey
forever,
Park.
Well, that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
But it's just, you know, I love it. So it is dying numerically. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see baseball fields becoming soccer fields. You know, many reasons, right? More foreign people marrying interfaithfully, and their kid play soccer because dad played soccer, right? And it's certainly cheaper, and you know all that other stuff. But
It's a little more exciting at times.
well, they're changing rules now, right? They're trying to do stuff.
Speed up the game.
The cameras, I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to be an umpire, right? Because
No.
everyone knows on TV before you do that
Yep.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so really crazy.
I don't
that-
like it. I don't
yeah.
like it. I don't want to rush baseball because I don't think it's meant to be rushed. It's a pastime. So I don't like the speeding up the game and the countdown for the pitcher to get the ball to the plate. Like, do you like that?
Sammy Sosa,
like it?
when he hit 55th homer, my buddy. No, I like old school.
Oh, okay.
Sammy Sosa's 55th homer was off my elementary school best friend.
Really?
Yeah. So I was at this guy's house, and this kid had a poster of all the Sammy's year, whatever, you know, year, and had every pitcher's name. And I'm like, Sean Lawrence, lefty. I'm like, dude, that's funny too.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
Oak Park.
Oh, Park.
Oh.
It's Husky. Baseball, I love. I mean, I love all sports except
Same.
for it's disgusting salaries and.
In baseball, there's no salary cap. It's ridiculous how much these
All
guys
of
are
it,
making.
dude, like-
Come on, man.
Dude, instead of taking your family to Disney World and saving up for a year,
Yeah.
you got to go to a freaking baseball game because it's so expensive.
Yeah. What do you think about the Sox probably moving around? So if they want to move this,
won't.
move this park, you guys don't think so?
They
Because
have a good
he was
season
flirting with the
today.
whole idea of even sending them away, like the Sox actually moving.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. He's just talking.
I think the Bears are stupid if they don't move as much as I want them to stay.
Really?
Come on, dude. It's a business, right?
Yeah. You would
They,
say
they
that.
play 8 games. Well, hey, bring another team to Chicago. We're a
What
big
about
city.
the plans for the new stadium? They look really good.
They need like
it's
a-
just billions
I
of
think
dollars.
yeah, all of it is. But in Arlington, okay, Soldiers, they have whatever, 8 games. They don't have the parking revenue. They have 8 games of sales and T-shirt sales.
That's it.
At Arlington, they'll have every sport. They'll have parking. They'll have everything. They'll have movies. They'll have it all, and it'll be a print money
Well, that's the
machine.
way of the new stadium, right? They offer it's open
Well,
year round.
experience, everything.
Yes, they got a club in there. They got restaurants. They got.
We're never going to get a Super Bowl. or
Well, we
any
would get a
business
Super
without
Bowl
a
if we had that dome.
You need that dome.
We need that dome. Nobody wants to be cold.
Yep.
Well, they had Detroit one year hosted the.
And so did the Minnesota.
it
It's
was
just hard,
freezing and
you know.
everybody was on.
Yeah, I think in some Minnesota has a dome now, which is good.
Kind of a good tie-in. One other thing I'm passionate about. I'm on several boards. One is Special Olympics Illinois,
Really?
which you know, big fan of, and you know the athletes. You know, like in high school, my friend's brother was autistic, and I worked with kids and stuff, and you know, it's so amazing seeing the joy just running 50 yards do, you know. And now I think the world, every kid gets a little medal too much, but I think in that case, like, deserve.
Mhm.
You know.
Wow. It's good stuff.
So, if you, I mean, we have a lot of groups here, as you mentioned.
Yep.
But if they said, hey, Andy, you form a group at the Union Way Club.
Yep.
Oh, well,
What
don't
would
ask
you-
him that question
what-
because
what
he's
would
gonna. Can we cut this off and then
Yeah.
go back to it? Because he's gonna say some things.
I
What kind of
finished the
group?
sentence,
Yeah,
and I
here
think
we
I
go.
already have it.
What group would you form at the Union